Hi, in this video training of Python Pandas, we will be learning about reading CSV files, JSON files, and analyzing data frames using Pandas library. First, let's look at how to read CSV files. A simple way to store big data sets is to use CSV files that are comma-separated files. CSV files contains plain text as it is a well-known format that can be read by everyone, including pandas. In our code, we will be using a CSV file called data.csv. You can download it from my GitHub repo. First, let's look at an example how to load the CSV into a data frame. So let's create a project file for this training. Python read csv.py, okay, and import pandas as pd, df equals pd.read csv, and provide the name of the CSV file and print df.toString, okay, and let's run this example on the console. Python read CSV, okay, you see the program has printed all the data from the CSV file in the data frame format. You can see it has organized it into a tabular form. So it has divided it into columns: duration, pulse, max pulse, and calories. So it is a very simple program that reads a CSV file and prints the entire data frame. By default, when you print a data frame, you will only get the first 5 rows and the last 5 rows. Let's print a reduced sample. This time I'm going to use the print method, but I'm not going to use the toString method. So I'm just going to print the df. Let's run the example again. This time you see it has printed the reduced columns and files. Big data sets are often stored or extracted as JSON. JSON is a plain text but has the format of an object and is well known in the world of programming, including pandas. In our code, we will be using a JSON file called data.json. You can download it from my GitHub repository of Python Pandas. The link of my GitHub repository is included in the video description, so you can get it from there. So let's look at an example to load the JSON file into a data frame. I'm going to create a new file and name it Python read JSON.py, and it is the same code, but this time we are going to use read_JSON method instead of the CSV method, and we are going to pass the name of the file data.json, and we're going to use print.df.toString. Okay, let's run the program and read json.py. You see we have printed all the data as a data frame, fetched it from JSON format file and printed it as a data frame. Okay. Dictionary as JSON. JSON is equal to Python dictionary. JSON objects have the same format as Python dictionaries. if your JSON code is not in a file but in a Python dictionary, you can load it into a data frame directly. Okay. Let's look at a program to load a Python dictionary into a data frame. So I'm going to copy this data frame from here and paste it into our code here, and you can say df equals pd dot data frame and pass in the data object and print df. Save the file, go to the console. You will see that we have printed out the Python dictionary as a data frame. Okay. The next topic in this video training is analyzing data frame. One of the most used method for getting a quick overview of the data frame is the head method. The head method returns the headers and a specified number of rows starting from the top. So if you want to get a quick overview by printing the first 10 rows of the data frame, you can use the head method and pass in the value that you want to print as rows. So we can go to our example Python read CSV, and I can go save it as analyzing data frames, and this time we are going to use the head method and pass in the 10 value. So let's run this program, Python analyzing data frame. You see it has only printed the first 10 rows instead of the 160 records in the CSV file. Note that if the number of rows is not specified, the head method will return the top 5 rows. Let's print the first 5 rows of the data frame. This time I'm not going to pass the number of rows to the head function. Let's run the program. You see it has only printed out the first 5 rows. So I'm going to copy it, paste it here, and I can add a comment here. Print first 10 rows, print first 5 rows. Okay. There is also a tail method for viewing the last rows of the data frame. The tail method returns the headers and a specified number of rows starting from the bottom. Let's print the last 5 rows of the data frame. Print last 5 rows, and let's comment this out, and I can say print df.tail. Let's run the program. You see the tail method has printed the last 5 rows of the data frame. Next is the info about the data. The data frames object has a method called info that gives you more information about the data set. Let's print the information about the data, which is done by using the info method. Print information about the data, and I can say print df.info. Let's comment this out and let's run the program. You see it has returned information about the data frame. It has 169 entry, which means it has 169 records from 0 to 168. 0 means the first row, and it has total 4 columns. First column has 169 values, which are non-null and integer 64. The pulse have same data, the max pulse have same data, but the calories column have 164 values, non-null and float 64. So by using the info method, we can get an information about the data set. Let's look at the null values. The info method also tells us how many non-null values there are present in each column, and in our data set it seems like there are 164 of 169 non-null values in the calories column, which means that there are 5 rows with no value at all in the calories column for whatever reason. Empty values or null values can be bad when analyzing data, and you should consider removing rows with empty values. So this was all about reading CSV and JSON files in Pandas and analyzing data frame. I hope you have understood the concept of analyzing data frame, reading and CSV file and JSON file. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time with a new topic in Python.